Live, gentlemen, and I use that term very loosely.
I
It's
am.
appropriate.
I'm not gentle. I am anything but gentle.
And Nick's just barely becoming a man, so
Hey,
he can't even grow. He can't even grow a peach fuzz yet.
Can
I
you?
can. I
Do you
can.
shave?
I shave quite regularly. Yeah, I shave every
Right,
day.
but what? I mean, what? Just like right here, the hair on your chinny chin chin.
No, I get here. I don't get that much here, but
Big screen. Big screen. This is a big screen moment.
no. I don't. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Now, if I ever need to disappear, then give me like 2 weeks. I'll be unrecognizable.
Well,
I'll be good.
you know he doesn't grow. He doesn't even have any like gray that comes in. Nothing. Like that
You got some
darkness
Native
where the
American
hair
in you.
bubble.
Come on, no, come on,
You
man.
You
It's
Asian?
probably
safe.
you could
Safety
probably run
razor
a
blade.
you could probably run a cotton swab through his face and it
And
won't get
nothing.
hung up. It'll
Nothing.
just be like nothing.
I look like Santa
Exactly.
Claus.
And
I
I
look like
moisturize
Velcro if
twice a
I do it.
day.
It's like
Come on. Come on. Well, yeah.
we're just
In the
hating.
chat.
We're
In the
just hating.
chat. Percentage wise, how much of Nick's face do you think will be covered with hair if he does not shave in a month? How much percentage?
I'll tell you what, it'll be just like 2 or 3 hairs. It'll look
I'm gonna
like
say-
Shaggy.
I'm gonna say percentage wise, I'm gonna say 25% tops.
Hey, man.
You're great.
Listen,
You're generous. You're generous.
I'm not blowing up my escape plan. The more people think this, the better. Okay, when I need to reinvent myself.
I'm saying 25%. If Nick would let his facial hair grow, he would not be able to grow more than 25% of facial hair.
Well, wait a second.
It'd be-
Where's
and
your
I would
where's your
imagine it'd be
beard?
taxing.
Wait,
It would be
wait a
taxing.
second. Where's your beard? I get Jorge talking to me, but he's got a beard. Where's your
I
beard
just
at?
shaved it. I just shaved it before we got on.
Okay. Well, come on. I need the wizard. I need the wizard. You guys need to both get the wizard thing going
No.
on, like a
The
point. You know what I
goatee
mean? Yeah,
or the Fu
like,
Manchu? The
Any-
goatee or the Fu Manchu?
the second one, I
longer-
think.
Any longer and it starts turning and it gets all crooked. It's like, no. It's about
Oh
as
my
long as
gosh.
I'll let it grow.
Okay. Hey, JP said I got 30%. Come on, let's go.
30%?
30%.
That's
30%.
I'm saying 25% tops.
You know it's never good when Alex opens up with, I know the guy at the bottom looks familiar. So are you a bottom? Is that what he's saying?
I mean, the question is, why would I? If that were the case, why do I look familiar? Is the question.
Well, because
Whoa!
that'd be the bigger story.
So let me tell y'all. My daughter's 13 years old. I'm at a crazy part in my
Oh.
life, right?
Yep.
I'm at a crazy part in my life because my daughter's 13 years old and she's starting to be very, very, a little too something. My wife thinks,
Yeah.
Vida thinks it's hilarious. I don't know how to feel about it. We're at
Boys be
dinner
walking
yesterday.
around you going, you smell like father-in-law.
So this is no. So this is what happened yesterday. We're at the Red Lobster because my father-in-law, he wanted Red Lobster for his birthday. We went to Red Lobster. Whatever. Red Lobster is ridiculously expensive these days. Okay, $200 for freaking Red Lobster. Yeah. But it's his birthday,
Never
whatever, 80 years old. Okay. Anyway, we're sitting there and we're talking about foods. I was like, I don't like cooked carrots. It tastes like ass. My daughter's 13 years old, and you know what she has to say to me? Dad, how do you know what ass tastes like? And I'm like, hey, goddammit. Hey, Mida's cracking up laughing. My father-in-law is laughing. And I'm like, no, we're not doing this. You're 13. I'm your daddy. No.
Hey, you opened that door.
You're too close to home, literally.
I'm not ready
man.
for that. I'm not ready to have a smart aleck mouth.
You're not ready for
another
that. You're
me.
definitely not ready for the boys coming and knock on your door talking about
Man, F that.
it's gonna be, you know what it is? It's so funny. It's always gonna be the piece of shit kid you don't like. That's the one that's always good.
I already told. I was like, look, don't try and make me feel bad about shit. I told Mike, I said, look, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Y'all gonna be like, oh, don't do that, don't say that, don't. He's Now I was like, I'm gonna let y'all know right. Don't make me feel bad about nothing. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna goddamn say. Period. I know all these little kids out here ain't shit, and I'm telling them they ain't shit, and that's that. Don't make me feel bad about nothing. No, it wasn't slip of the tongue, D1. She said, Dad, how do you know what ass tastes like? I'm like, yo, you're 13. We ain't at that level yet. You know what I mean? But she thinks she grown.
Hey, we got Clip from TikTok joining us tonight.
Let's go, man.
He's
It's
abandoned
okay.
his platform. We're starting to pull him over here little by little. First you pulled Bama, now you're bringing Clip. You know, they're gonna realize.
Wait. Why do you
this is the
say it's
better
me? You
Well,
were there
you're the one-
first.
No,
you were there
I was
first.
there first, but I didn't invite him on my channel.
I
You
only
did.
went over there. I only went over there because of you. I just want to understand anything from
You're the
TikTok
one
because
that
of me.
does co-host with them and has them, rate tanks with you on your live stream.
Listen, I'm just a bit more welcoming. That's all. But you hang out there.
No, I'm a gatekeeper. What are you talking about?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm a gatekeeper. Not
That's a
anybody
good
gets
point.
to come into this fun house.
So what are we gatekeeping today, man? Come on.
No. Yeah,
What is it?
I'm the opposite of gatekeeping. I'm probably the one that's going to get in trouble for bringing everybody over.
Too inviting.
Yeah, that's what Funk tells me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm guarded.
I can see that. I can see that. But you know what? You invited me over, so listen, I'm rocking with it. Look, I'll take the bad with the good. Me being the good, of course.
All right, now we've given enough time for people to start rolling in here. We got 20 people with us. Thank you guys for joining us. The thumbs up. I don't like doing that shit. I feel
I
that's
do it.
so
Hey, hit the
redundant.
thumbs up. Stop being
Yeah,
like
I think
that's all it
YouTube
takes.
has been around long enough where people know how it works.
People forget though. I know I forget. I watched the whole videos, but God dang it, I forgot to hit the thumbs up, and that was a good video.
I go back and hit the thumbs up.
I
don't
always
go
hit the
back.
thumbs
That's
down.
too much.
I don't. I definitely dislike things more than like things because usually,
Really?
like
It's the same,
if I don't like something, I'm immediately like, oh, I gotta hit the thumbs down on this. But if I
see,
like something, like
hitting
I do, I'll be like, I don't know.
by hitting the
It's not
thumbs
that
down, you give them the same credit as hitting the thumbs up.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
Same
but
credit.
I'm making my voice heard. I want them to know, especially if it's a small. If it's like a certain level of channel, you probably don't get that many dislikes. So like, you're gonna look and see that one dislike, and
Then
that's
they
me.
know that it's just spam. You're just kind of, just trying to be.
Yeah, I don't think.
Stand out.
Yeah, the only people that you're gonna bother with that is a small channel. A bigger channel don't.
They don't care.
Of course, you have to punch down. You have to punch down. There was a time where there was someone that like would dislike my video as soon as I uploaded it for a bit. So like I knew it was like a specific person.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff is kind of funny.
It was me.
Hey everyone, hit the like button. Hit the like button.
All right, guys. Let me get a little bit of housekeeping before we get going, and then welcome some of the people that have joined us. There's a weird dude that can't grow facial hair in my tanks that was in here. KJ, thank you for joining us. Cheryl, Louise, Benjamin. Let me see. Don, thank you for being here. Renee, D1. Let's see, we have C Marshall, JP. Thanks for being here. Alex. Let's see, we got Jody and Jody Pry. So we got the two Jodys in. Let's see, who else do we have in here? We got Clip, Bamba. What I always call him? I always drop the BA. It's Bamba.
Come on, man. Respect he 3 times
Yeah.
PhD, Aquascape certified. Come on.
I thought Bam would have been better served for him since he likes to.
Who certified him? Who certified him?
The board, the aquascaping board.
The Aquascape.
Oh,
You ever heard of-
I thought it was.
You ever heard of,
these days I gotta know who certified.
Master Takashi Amano. Ever heard of him?
No.
I didn't know because I know. Hey, there's some.
Who that is. PhD here.
I'm gonna get certified.
You've been certified.
I'm gonna get certified.
A-hole.
No, I'm gonna get certified.
I'm waiting. You already got UFO underneath your name. I just noticed that there's all type of stuff going on tonight already.
What's going on with Alex and his fetishes? First, he was all into Nick beating, recognizing him as a bottom, and now he says that the first thing he came into was going into swinging. It's like, what's going on, Alex?
What?
Okay, swinging. That's funny. I thought you said you were doing housekeeping, and now look, we're doing the opposite. We're making a mess everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's always messy. It's the three of us. It's as KJ said, it's the thirsty boys.
Stop.
Come on,
Cut
man.
that out. Stop
Come
it.
on,
You just
man.
stop it right now.
Pause, you know. We're gonna get Nick right. Let's go. That's right.
All right. So hey, Mickham showed up, and so did Into the Future. Thank you guys for joining us today. All right. So the topic for today, this started up with a conversation I was having with Nick.
I forgot the topic.
This was a conversation that started up with Nick because I actually reached out to him and said, "Got any ideas for a topic?" And he quickly fired back. I was surprised. He actually gave me like two options, and I said, "Oh, you know what? I can talk a little bit on the LFSs versus swaps." And
that's right. That's right.
So the topic was pretty much from what I understood, or actually, why don't you tell us, Nick? It was your topic.
Oh, really? You're the host. Yeah. Well, I was saying, a good topic that I was watching. I think it was a Fish Tank Barn, and he was talking a little bit about local fish stores and swaps. And I was in that chat talking about that. And there's a swap coming up next weekend with CCY, so it was like on my mind. And a lot of people feel that swaps compete with local fish stores, and some people feel it's like not that way, and there's a little bit of opinions back and forth. So I thought it would be a good conversation for us to have, because we have the professional fish store guy up here, Aquafuck, who definitely I think has an opinion on this. And then
I got an opinion. Yeah.
I'm a swap enthusiast, and we have Jorge usually has a balanced take, so we'll see what side he settles
what
on.
I was telling you, what I found really interesting was a conversation that I heard, and I don't remember in whose live stream, but it was after the clash, and one of the gripes that they had was that the local fish stores were buying up a lot of the rare species and were out competing everybody because they had deeper pockets. And I thought that was an interesting take, because I know you had totally the opposite opinion about that. So I said, you know what, maybe this is something we need to look into and see where the truth is, because it's always, from the person's perspective, it could always be skewed one way or the other. But I am kind of curious, and the reason it also kind of raised a little bit of curiosity is because I don't know about in the East Coast, but out here in the West Coast, LFSs host swap in their parking lots. That's a way that they use it to try to have foot traffic come into the store. And also to promote the store, which I thought that was very interesting, because if you're hearing that it's doing the opposite, I thought, well, maybe this is something we need to look into and see where the truth lies.
Well, yeah, and the one swap that's coming up this weekend, that's at that pet place, which is a fish store too. So that does happen here somewhat. And I was going back with someone in the chat, Fish Tank Barn, and it was kind of like a few things that they were saying, because I'm basically team, I want to hear Funk give his opinion before I give mine. That's the team I'm on.
So you're not married to your opinion. You're only going to go based on what
I have to prepare. Listen, if we all agree, I'm taking devil's advocate. Okay.
This might be a short live stream, honestly. So I think that's fucking awesome that there's LFS. I said if I ever had an LFS, I would welcome fish swaps and clubs with open arms into the store. They would be able to have meetings at my store. They would be able to have swaps at my store, in the parking lot, whatever. I think the people, and I've seen these people before that are griping and bitching and moaning about fish swaps, are the old geezers that refuse to change their mentality to go along with times. So they complain and blame other people for their failures. That's what I believe.
Okay.
All them geezers, my store ain't doing good because of fish swap. How How that one day, really, that one day messes up your whole year? Come on, man, really? There's something wrong with you.
What do you think about the complaint of like fish stores coming up and buying everything? Like,
I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
I've seen stores buy stuff I've seen it in auctions. I've seen stores buy stuff in auctions before, but I haven't seen someone like buy out a whole swap. I've seen like breeders do that. But that's why you got to show up. If the swap's gonna have something that nice, you gotta be there early if you care about getting there before stuff sells out. You know.
Yeah, here's a store owner.
Fathom, you shut your filthy mouth, Fathom. You shut your filthy mouth, okay?
You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm 5'7.5", okay? And a half. So you can just, right there. There you go.
You're gonna give him a short one.
Yeah, I don't, bro. Like, I could tell you what I've seen. You know what I've seen about fish swaps?
What's that?
Yeah.
All the people bringing their fish to trade them in at the store that they've gotten at the fish swaps that they didn't want. Hey, I got this fish at the fish swap. Can I trade it in for something? That's what I get. I get a lot of that. In fact, I got 5 red cheek cichlids a couple days ago because Uncle Joe, you still in the chat? You still in the chat, Uncle Joe? In fact, literally the guy brought it in because they saw a video from Uncle Joe about his red cheek cichlids and they got him at a fish swap and then he realized whatever reason they wasn't right for him and now they're at my shop. Because they saw Uncle Joe's video.
Did he get some good credit for it? So did he profit? Like, did the plan work?
No, you know how hard it would be for me to sell that fish?
Oh, God damn.
Why is it because it's a big cichlid?
Because nobody knows that fish.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's gonna come in looking for red cheek. They're called I can't say the name. It's very crubberaba.
All right, let me look it up.
Yeah, that one. I got that one. Well, what do you think about? They said it was unfair, but like, spoiler, my opinion is kind of like if you're complaining about competition, I just think you're not working hard enough. That's really my opinion.
Agree.
There's no reason to me. There's no reason why a LFS, like a swap, anyone bringing stuff to a swap shouldn't be able to compete to an LFS. And if that's a problem, the LFS
100%.
should go to the swap, which I think the Fish and Friends is going to the swap. So some do, but like if you're complaining about that, you're probably doing a terrible job. That's just kind of my opinion, especially if you have a brick and mortar.
100%. 100%.
Is this an African cichlid?
No, it's a South American cichlid.
Okay,
So it's a dwarf cichlid species, but
Okay, wait.
Crobia.
Oh, here it is, Crobia. Yeah, I see it. It looks almost like a convict.
It doesn't have a lot of color, and it would just be a hard sell. And you would have to get a fish geek to buy it. He would buy it.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm saying it's a very, very like niche fish. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
The average person who's gonna buy it.
Fathom says that his auctions are lame because anything decent gets outbid by stores or private resellers. It's ridiculous. Lots and lots. So people are saying stores, be buying stuff.
I do know resellers. Like brick and mortar stores, not so much. Online stores, I've seen that a lot. Online stores, I've seen that a lot.
So why is it the online stores doing that more than the brick and mortar?
Oh, okay, this is a different fish. This actually does look nice.
Oh, that's breeding. That's breeding right there. They're breeding. That's breeding color.
Because I mean, it looks like a fish. It does. I gotta give it that.
It's a hard sell, bro. And to be honest with you, they're not really all that expensive because it's a hard sell. Like, how much do they have it for sale there? I can't see it. What?
It's 24 to 30 something.
Yeah. See, that's a hard sell.
25 to $40. But what is it? Is it a one pair? What are they selling you? No, it's per fish.
Yeah, and I could bust out an electric blue Acara for $20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But wait, Funk, why is it that the online stores are the ones that you see do it versus brick and mortar?
Because online stores, this is why online stores do it. And I could, so online stores to buy from commercial sales, commercial distributor, a lot of times they have to have a minimum purchase. If you're an online store, you have to do in way your increments are farther apart. You know what I mean? Like let's say you have $500 minimum purchase, which isn't a lot, but right now you don't have enough space to fill $500. You only have enough space to fill $200 in your room in your house. You know what I'm saying? So you can always go there and pick up a bunch of fish for $200. You know what I mean? And fill up your room. Plus, you can get those fish for slightly more than what you can from wholesalers. You see, is how you don't have overhead. You still get a nice profit off of it.
I see. But so the brick and mortars, they don't have that problem because they got the space, so they have no problem. Like
they got the space, and they could pretty much fill any minimum. Yeah. Whereas as a like me, like honestly, for me to do a $500 minimum purchase, I would have to have a whole bunch of one fish that I can't do. If I'm a small little thing, I got to have a variety, and it just doesn't work out. It's a lot easier and better to as an online to be able to pick up a lot of people's random stuff to fill your room. It's just easier. You don't have to pay shipping. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay shipping. You can just take them home right then and there. It's just it makes a lot of sense financially.
Yeah, this is usually the case. What Ryan is talking about here, in my experience, when I've been to our fish swaps that are held at the store, and I think there's some I don't know, some ethics, if you want to call it that, from hobbyists that, as a token of appreciation for being the venue for the host, most people will buy something from the store as a sign of gratitude. It might not necessarily be fish, but they'll pick up, that sponge filter they're looking for, or food, or something. That's pretty much been my experience from what I've seen, but I haven't been to too many that have been held at local fish stores.
Well, imagine this. Imagine if you're getting a fish. You find a fish at a fish swap, because fish swap you probably find more of a niche fish than you will at the at the fish store. So I'm not really. I wouldn't say that the fish store and the swap fish are going to be in competition so much. Maybe some will overlap, but I don't think it's going to be much. You know what I mean?
I mean, well, I guess like is the swap is the Clash like a good example, because it's kind of like a swap, right? Like
that's more of an event, but
like a lot of people that went there, they also do the swaps and stuff. Like, do you think that selection like probably is different than the store? Like, there's not overlap?
Oh yeah, definitely, because you got a lot of small breeders, a lot of niche breeders that are going to those niche events breeders, and selling their fish. Like, for example, G'dayids. You're going to be hard pressed to find a LFS store that is selling G'dayids.
Yeah.
You're not really going to find them there. A lot of the fish you like, Nick, you like a lot of the rare, smaller nano fish.
Hold up. Well, I was going to say, none of the fish that I'm interested in right now, I'm going to find at the swap. Most of the fish I've bought recently, I can only find my LFSs, but I am spoiled.
LFSs or online stores?
LFS, I've got great LFS. London Town Tropicals gets a lot of weird stuff. All my first killies I bought from there. And I've got Louise that's very close, and she's got a lot of rare stuff.
A special kind of store, because she carries a lot of stuff that your typical LFSs will not carry. So
and I like her because she's my London Town Tropicals, which is near me. They're kind of in the same vein. They don't get all the same stuff as her, but it's a lot of stuff that I've bought from there that I've never seen in any auction, any swap, unless Wet Spot Tropical donated it to the auction. You know what I mean? Then maybe I'll see it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and you start seeing what online. I think you start seeing more of those um niche stores, I guess, if you want to call them. I don't know what you would want to call them, that will carry the unconventional type of breeds. I know Jody P and Johnny and Chris. You look at their inventory. Then there's Dan's Fish. He used to, not as much anymore, but that he was the go-to guy. What's that? So, real question.
I love that. I love
Okay,
what she's saying there because I do have a problem with that and swaps.
all right.
I don't think that's fair.
Where's her shit? I was that far behind. All right, let me put it up on the screen. There we go.
Because I've seen that a lot.
So, real question.
I don't go to a lot of swaps, but I've seen them do that, where they go to wholesalers and they buy wholesale stuff and take them to swaps.
Yeah,
That's
that is.
kind of.
I know for a fact there's a group of people that'll in Phoenix that do a wholesale purchase before any of the events, and
That's
they take
so
it
wrong.
themselves. Yeah,
That's the same mentality as these like Get Gills and that other place where it's designed for the home breeders, but then you got like these big box stores putting their websites on there. It's the same mentality. They're taking advantage, you know.
That was the same complaint that you had about that Aqua Finders that you went and looked at, and you go, dude, it's all online stores. It's not. It's supposed to be catered to home breeders, but it was
home breeders.
Well, is it wrong that because they're selling fish they bought wholesale? Or is it wrong because they just bought the fish right before the event? Because I don't necessarily have a problem with them. Also doing the same thing a store's doing, you know.
What Weezy is saying, like let's say you got your own LFS, your brick and mortar, you got a nice big parking lot, right? And you're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna cater to the fish swap people, the fish club people, and I'm gonna throw an event outside. So you're expecting in your mind that you're doing a service to fish lovers, right? And you have at-home breeders. When in fact you get these Weisenheimers that have at-home fish license, and they go to the same distributors that you go to and have the same fish that you go to, but they don't have overhead. So they're in your parking lot with the same fish that you have in your store and then underbidding you in your parking lot. With this, you know what I mean? No, that's wrong. I want to flip that table. Flip that table over. That's what I'm saying. Flip it over.
But can the swappers really have lower prices than the store? Because of what you're talking about with the space and the minimums and stuff.
Yeah, because look,
if they're ordering from the same place, if they don't have a brick and mortar,
here's a big difference. If you have a brick and mortar, your rent for that, just the rent for the building, you're probably anywhere between $25 to $3,000 a month, somewhere around there, and depending on the square footage too.
I've seen.
I can get much higher but we're talking for a real small kind of store, probably around that range. Where if you do the same thing at a swap and all you pay is $25 for a table, there's a big difference. You're going to be able to almost sell those fish at cost, and still be able to make a profit.
Seems like it just seems kind of like a lot of work to me.
You'd be surprised at how much wholesalers sell their fish for, and then they get marked up anywhere 3 to 5 times, and that's the price that the public pays.
I feel like one question that isn't answered to me is, I see some people in the chat be like, only breeders should be at the swaps and stuff. And like, I feel like to me that feels a little tricky. Like, I don't know if I could, if it's only breeders at the swaps, it might not be as much worth going to.
That's supposed to be the spirit of it, and it is true. And here's the other thing, though, because with a swapper that buys wholesale just to sell at a swap as a side hustle, they can go in the store and maybe do 50 cents less, $1 less than what they have it there, and still be able to make some good money off of those fish.
Yeah. So like you said, it's one day.
It is one day, but it's a slap in the face. That one day you're getting slapped in the face by that guy in your parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And usually that person who hosted it ain't making no money off of it. They're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, am I that mad that someone is selling like neon tetras for 50 cents less if the people still come inside? They're like, oh shit, you actually have cool fish that this person with no brick and mortar can't order. They don't have a Cyclid
It's the
exchange account, you
principality,
know?
Smokey. It's the principality.
Okay.
Well,
It's the
here's what
principle.
Louise said. You know, there is a big difference, and there. I guess we're not using the right term, but I think she nailed it on the head. Fish flippers. You know, people that are buying wholesale to sell fish. Versus people that are actually breeding stuff. If you're breeding stuff, it's a whole different ball game. It's
Okay.
you're selling what you're producing in your fish room.
So you do feel like you'd rather the swaps just be breeders, but then the stores wouldn't be able to come to the swaps then because they're buying fish wholesale to sell at the swap. You know,
The stores.
No, the stores usually don't have a booth. They have the store, the facility. They're using the
but
parking lot for the store.
right.
And,
Now,
but in the
are we
case where
swap?
okay,
Are we talking about a
where's-
swap in the LFS's parking lot or a swap
no, just
at a
independent location.
independent location? Then it's
At the store, I agree with you. At the store,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I
Okay.
agree with you at the store.
I guess we didn't clear that up. Like if it's
Yeah, we
an
didn't
event like the
yeah.
Clash where it's there's no stores involved or anything like that. I guess it's free game.
It's free game. It's just
if you want to do that, if you want to go buy
Kinda
wholesale
shitty.
to sell at a booth, then that's I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I mean that's totally different. But I don't think it's the same if you have a fish store that's hosting the event and then you go and undercut their business. I think that's where it would be. I would probably have a problem with it because it's true. I know this because I talked to the owner of Nolan's Aquariums when he had the rice fish event, and he straight up told me, he goes, I don't think I'm going to make money today. He goes, but I don't care because I'm trying to promote the hobby. So that usually a lot of the store owners are doing these things at a loss to them. But at the end of the day, like he said, look, the way I look at it, it's free publicity because everybody's knows where the event's going to be at. They know the name of the store. He goes, they might not buy something on the first turn here, and especially if they're first time customers that are coming for the event. Now they know where we're at. They know what we have. They could potentially become a returning customer. So those are the reasons why they decide to host them, because they might not get an immediate result from that one day of the event. Plus, there's a lot of losses because their utilities will go up because they're usually providing utilities for all the event. They're providing water for a lot of the events, a lot of the stands and all that stuff. Yeah, what's up?
There's a question real fast that I think is pertinent. Clip.
Oh yeah,
Clip.
it don't matter.
That's my hey, Clip. Give this whole chat a thumbs down. And unsub this guy. What's the difference between a reseller and a breeder? The reseller literally does not. The breeder breeds the fish, spends time, money, sweat, blood, and tears growing the fry out, spends all this time with the fish, whereas a reseller wakes up one morning, goes down to the wholesaler, buys a bunch of fish, they put it in a bag, and then they drive to the swap that day and opens up the bag and sells the fish right then and there. So that's the difference.
Here's another in between though. Like, what about businesses that sell all fish that are locally bred? Is that different?
I've never seen one that does all fish locally bred. That'd be difficult.
What about 60+% bred fish by them and other people around?
You wouldn't be able to. I don't see how you. First of all, that's not legal. That's not legal.
Wait, what do you mean?
You would not, as a store, you would have to. Like you would have to have like a ninja tax accountant to be able to work
just
that
out. As a swapper, you're a swapper. Your table is like you didn't necessarily breed the fish, but like you're buying fish from breeders to sell from the local area at the swap.
What about it? That'd be cool.
Because there are people that do that. There are people that do that. Like Small World Aquatics, they do breed a lot of fish, but I do know they buy fish from people that breed them locally. Like, does that count as breeder as long as they're bred in the area?
I would give them kudos because they're still supporting local breeders. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At home breeders. I definitely give them
Shout out
kudos. I definitely would give them kudos. You know, but there's this guy. There's multiple people out here in Florida. So there's a lot of wholesalers out here in Florida, right? And you get yourself a business license, right? And you get yourself a Sprinter truck. You know those Sprinter trucks with the big ones? And you drive to a wholesaler and you basically buy about $2,000 worth of fish. And you put them in the truck. Then you start driving around the pet stores.
Okay.
And just say like, hey, I got fish. And then you sell them to the stores. That's legal
crazy.
and all that. It's legal. But
why don't the fish stores just buy the fish if they're close?
Here's the important thing, and this is what Luis is pointing out. You got to have a license to be able to resell. That you do. So that's why it would be legal if you did that. But as long as you had the right business license to be able to do it, and like if I decided to do that today,
these licenses because I never heard.
That's
really
the thing
is
not
that
really.
A swap? Do swaps check if people have resellers licenses?
I mean, they probably don't go out and look for these people, but if somebody reports your ass, then you will be in some sort of legal trouble. If they come
swap. Oh man, how do swaps do that? Because I mean,
I don't know.
I quote unquote ran one swap, and I didn't ask anyone about licenses.
Unless they're selling under the store's permit. I don't know, Louise.
But if you're a swap, well, hold up, wait. As a
so how do they sell at events?
Did we just mess you up? You're gonna be arrested, bro.
I don't know. So Fathom saying it affects breeders. It affects breeders too. Do breeders need a resale license?
Technically, they do. Technically, you're supposed to have
an you're gonna be someone's girlfriend. Because you're the president.
It's 2026. I'll be the partner. It's fine. Come on. yo, Fathom says he's gonna report the resellers. Yo, Mr. CIA in the building.
Oh my god. Yeah, everybody gonna be like, oh, they're doing a fish swap. I know none of them have a resale license. It's called
I don't really connect fish keepers with like following the law, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But like most of us, there's probably some natural DNR law we violated at some point. You know what I mean?
Says that Jacob says that hobbyists don't need a license. I don't know. That would be interesting because California is probably one of the strictest states out there when it comes to resale stuff. So. I've always wondered how that's true. Now I hadn't always wondered. I just started wondering about it now that Funk has brought up that how are fish auctions legal if nobody's got a permit that's selling fish?
How is that?
I don't know, bro. People are trying to cause trouble right now. I just want to say I'm not reporting anyone.
I'm gonna pull the plug on this live stream because we're about to devastate this industry right now.
Listen, we got cops with agendas in the chat, okay?
Is this the Better Business Bureau? I have to report something.
Oh, please, Better Business Bureau.
For everybody. We just messed it up for everybody.
Ryan says in my state you can sell up to 5 years, 5 cars a year without a car dealer's license. Okay, so like maybe you sell 5 fish, you're fine.
But do you have to report that on your taxes? Do you have to report that as income on your taxes?
Probably. You know how this works.
They're getting rid of free file. What am I supposed to do? I don't know.
They want you to report every. Hey, they're even monitoring all your Zelle transactions now.
What?
Damn.
Yep.
That's how I send money to Mida all the time.
Yeah, well, you better be careful because they're monitoring all that stuff now.Ey're going to consider that.
Man, you ain't getting no more, not another dime from me.
I thought we were talking about LFSs versus swaps. Now we're all going to jail. We're all going to prison.
You going to jail? You the president. It's all on you.
This is your
idea. Hey, the whole board, the entire board voted. Okay, this is a democracy.
Hot in here. This is a hot topic.
The answer is my recent. You can sell as a breeder and report hobby stuff and taxes, then it's legal. But buying wholesale to flip is 100% legal without licensing. I mean, okay, wait. Forget about this law stuff. there are people in the chat that don't even know how to tell if someone's reselling. So please, can either of you tell us what are the signs that someone just put in an order to, like, I don't know, what's the easiest wholesaler to buy from?
Technically, you can't buy wholesale fish unless you have a license. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Is it that, or is it? Okay, I don't know.
That's true. That is true. Technically,
it's true.
Wholesalers,
it's true.
Yeah, I said
I knew that some places wouldn't sell to you if you didn't have a brick and mortar.
No. To be able to, they just decide not to really check very hard. They're going to take you at your word when they ask if you have a license, if you have a business. They're going to take you your word. They're not going to do the investigation, unless somebody decides to open the books and go, "Who you been selling to?" And then they come knocking at your door and see if
I want to hear.
What's that?
She wants to
jump on the stream? All right, let me send her. Let me send her the link,
bro. Oh, so she you stir all the business, all the trouble, and send us all to jail. That's what you want to do?
Bring your New York
doing nothing. I don't sell anything, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not over here.
If I drop off the call, don't take it personally, bro. I gotta protect my fish.
I don't have any breeding. I don't have anything going
Mr.
on.
ABC guy, look.
No one's gonna tell me my fish are illegal. I bred them right here. Okay, I bred them right here.
I'm just saying, I got all my stuff in order right here. Look, right here. So leave me alone.
Wait. I got it. Okay, yeah.
I got all my stuff.
I got all my stuff right here. I'm good too. Let's go.
I sent you the link, Louise.
I'm good too.
Yeah, right. I want to see your permit.
I do have permits. I do because you had to get permits to ship certain things. I do have permits. I do. I even had an import license last year. I didn't end up using it, so I don't.
How hard was
I got
it?
It wasn't hard. It
was expensive, but not hard.
Terrible website. It did cost money, but yeah, it wasn't technically hard, but it was annoying. My friend was in Ghana. I was hoping he was going to send some fish my way, so I just did an import license for Ghana.
You were going to inherit the wealth of a prince?
Was he a prince?
No,
was he a prince?
No. Well, there was this whole thing where they lost power for a week. There was natural disasters and floods, so it was this is my friend I've known for a long time. Yeah.
Oh well, you knew him. Okay.
Yeah. I knew him for a long time. He just went over there for a little bit. It was cool though. He was like, "Yeah, I showed him a picture of the killifish in your tank." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we see those all the time. 1,000 fish, one man." I was like, "What?" Yeah, they just catch all
1,000 fish, one man. What the hell does that mean?
They just get 1,000 of the small fish, like killifish and stuff, and fry them all because they're so small. It's 1,000 fish, one man can eat them all.
Oh wow!
Okay.
They're just like, "Oh yeah, we see all the time." Yeah.
So 1,000 fish, just one guy just go ahead and just tear up 1,000 fish. How much is Killies? If you do the math, how much did he just eat?
I know. Well, they don't. Some of them that aren't already in the, because there are people there probably that sell and collect and stuff. But those that aren't, they're like, why would you even want this? You know what I mean?
All right.
In the States, though. In the States, how much you think he?
In money?
Oh
my gosh!
You got a restaurant?
There she is.
Hi.
Troublemaker.
Yes, I am. Well, all right. So coming from the legal background and coming from how brick and mortar works versus swapping versus hobbyists, I was starting to pace a little bit. You guys got me fired up. So let's get into the true logistics. Who wants to start on this?
I mean, we need to know before you start locking people up. When you go to a swap, how do you know that someone just ordered the fish the last week and got them in they're a reseller? How do you even identify?
They don't even do it.
Easy answer from somebody like me, from somebody like myself. I get over 30 wholesale lists and hobbyist lists every week. So not to sound disrespectful, but from my area,
it sounds like you got an agenda. You know what I mean?
You got the license,
because I'm
a truth teller. So this is how it works. So when these swappers in my area have their websites and suddenly they got the same stuff that came from such and such a wholesaler, And I know that you haven't gone to your borough or to your city or to your wherever where you live and got your proper licensing to make your garage a business, or if you are in a residential area where you cannot get a business license to have your basement operation the way you do, then you are definitely wholesaling without a license. It's that simple.
Jesus, come on, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you guys are on the whole swap versus LFS and doing that. We have a local club that refuses to let retail stores attend their events. That's fine. But that very same local club has swappers that are buying wholesale without a wholesaler's proper licensing to do so.
I
And then
see.
they're flipping those fish
I
at
see.
the swap. So what
That's
makes them any
terrible.
different than
That's,
a retail store? It makes
Okay,
no
I get why
difference.
I get why you're upset in that context. I do understand why you're upset in that context because you're not
N-
even talking about the legality at that point. It's just like they're
But
excluding you while people have fish from the same place,
now
but they're
that's
not doing it
reason number
legally.
one. Do you want to go top 3 or do you want to go top 100? Because I can give you number 2.
What's
she's gonna
I
give you
can't
a
count
big
that
old
high.
number 2.
I can't
I'm
count
gonna
that
give
high.
you a big old number 2.
Let's do it.
Now, here's the other issue. As a retail store, when somebody is doing what they're doing underground, and I have the overhead that I have and they don't, and they're not even reporting it on their taxes, they don't have liability insurance, they don't deal with all the Uncle Sam, the only uncle I can't stand as a family member. When they don't have to do that, of
Bro.
course that's going to make me salty as a retail store. But then you also have the angle of being the fact that I have the high overhead, they have the low overhead. I have bills to pay. So again, as a retail store, if you're wholesaling without the proper licensing and doing what you're doing, you're cutting into my pockets at the end of the day. The wonderful thing about swaps back in the day was that you guys as breeders, real true breeders, not flippers, you relied on us to buy your breeder stock. So if you're cutting out the middleman, you're killing the store. If you're selling a bunch of products in your basement and you're not paying taxes like I'm paying taxes, and now people aren't coming to my store so that I can pay my rent, that hurts the LFS. So what's the point in even having us if you're going to circumvent us at all times? Nothing against funk, but even when it comes down to foods, we rely on people to come into the store and buy their foods. And hopefully, as they're walking out the door, go, oh shit, you got those newts over there? Those are badass. And hopefully, they buy the newts. Now, again, I'm not cutting funk. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, the more a basement operation is carrying product, the less you're walking through my doors. I'm already competing against Amazon. I can't beat Petco retail on a
But
fish tank
okay, but
anymore.
wait.
Go ahead.
Can't you get much cooler fish? Much you have access to more sources and stuff. Like,
Not
can they really
not if
compete with
not
you?
if the basement operation is using my wholesalers. My wholesalers, some of my so where I'm at with my story is that I won't even futz with those companies that will work with those basement operations and let them buy without their proper licensing. Because 9 times out of 10, and I'll say it, and this is the truth, those wholesalers are caca anyway. So that makes me feel
But
good.
that's
You're
what I'm saying.
buying
So, like,
bunk
don't you
fish.
have ones that only sell to brick and mortar stores? So, like, the
Right,
basement
but how many
operations, like,
brick and mortar stores do you know that are as smart and upbeat and on top of the situation as I am? There's brick
But
and
that's
so
what I'm
mortar
what?
saying. So
stores
you're
that have been buying,
oh, so
But
I'm just
but
saying. So you're fighting for the other ones, but you're a bit.
so what
well, no,
You're
no,
happens
no, no,
is
no, no. I'm just a step above it because I'm not rocking with those wholesalers. There's a bunch of stores around me that are rocking with that very same
yeah.
wholesaler. So they're getting screwed. Just because I'm smart enough to not rock with them because they're rocking with the basement operations doesn't mean everybody else is. So what? I'm the one in 1,000 that is only rocking with wholesalers that are willing to do the homework and make sure I send pictures of my brick and mortar, make sure that they are interviewing me, make sure that they are checking out my Facebook page. There's mad stores out here that don't even post on Facebook. So it's not fair to those stores.
mm,
I don't care about me. I'm smart enough to circumvent that. I'm smart enough to compete against that. But how many people are built like me? And that's not me trying to pat myself on the back. That's just me being honest.
So
okay.
Nick, what happens is Nick, what happens is, and I mean, I'm not just to say, I'm just to give you a little insight. What happens is what these wholesalers, whenever times get rough, then I mean, when they first start out, they have all the same rules. They're supposed to do everything that
Right.
Weezy's talking about. But when times get rough, they start
then they start
cutting
backdooring
corners
because they got to
and they
make money
start
too.
and
Yep.
they're like, oh, what, you got cash? Yeah, you got a license? Okay, yeah, I believe you. And then that starts happening a lot. And with Amazon and stuff coming from overseas and
they're hurting too, so they're doing
they're
stuff
hurting.
they
So
shouldn't
it
be doing in the first place either, but they're also trying to stay
Okay.
open. But that's
Yeah.
no offense to that wholesaler, but then step
Yeah.
up your game and get better
Yeah.
fish. Step up your game and get better UV filtration. Get a better business model as a wholesaler. Because the wholesaler's hurting the retail store as much as the mom and pop basement operation that's not operating legally is hurting the retail store. It's a whole trickle down effect. It's not blame one or blame the other. They're all to blame for doing what they're doing. But again, get a better business model. I'll say that until the day I die. Why is my store successful? I got a better business model. I hustle.
Okay.
It's a different hustle.
But see,
Sorry.
but see, no, but that's what I'm saying. But if I accept everything you're saying, like the sentiment, okay, it's wrong and stuff. Let's say they don't feel like reporting everyone and all that stuff. You do show a way, like you do have a way that you can compete against those things, so like successfully. Like
Very
is
few of
unfair,
us,
it's all
because
those
very
things.
few of us are smart enough to know what I know or smart enough to investigate.
See,
I'm just
I
being
could tell you,
honest.
I could tell you right now. Like I've talked about this with Mexican. Me and Mexicans actually talked about this a couple times. There are old mentality in LFSs that won't step outside the box.
Yep.
Weezy got a website. Weezy's on social media. Weezy's, keeping up with the trends. There's people like right here I'm dealing with at not the store I'm at, but stores that just, this is what I've been doing and this is what and I'm just gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
And then,
And that's why they're failing. And that's
and they're
nothing
failing
against that
because of it.
store, but you
So
got to
those are
stay on trend. You got to do your homework.
Yeah. And those are the same people that get mad at swaps. Those are the same people that get mad at this. They're the same.
Yeah.
They always blaming somebody else because they refuse
And that's when the
to
swap's
grow.
going to win, because they've got the trending fish that the retail store doesn't have, because they've been dealing with the same wholesaler for 25 years. I've got a competitor around my way that they're down to one or two wholesalers because their money's not green anymore and they've burned other wholesalers. So they're limited on what they can buy because they are not allowed to work with other wholesalers because they didn't pay the bill. So, you know what I mean? In a case like, so in a case like that, well, it seems to be trending in my area.
So wait, Aquafuck, what'd she just say? Like, do you know what she's talking about with that? Like not paying the credit on a wholesale thing? Like what is she talking about?
Yeah, wholesaler credit. So lots of wholesalers, dry good wholesalers, fish wholesalers, they'll run on credit. But if you don't pay, you get cut off. You're not buying any more fish.
They send you the fish first and you pay later.
That's a regular thing.
Yeah, that's how the wholesale works. They
just in general, you get the fish before you pay, and just all the time.
That's how life works. I could own a pizzeria, and Roma Food Products is going to give me credit to buy all the stuff because I'm a new pizzeria. But if I don't pay Roma back, I'm working with Palio. That's the way it works. Honey, you got to understand business. Your money got to be green. That's business 101.
When I was selling for Consolidated, there was a lot of companies that would call me up and be like, "Hey, can I put in an order?"
Yeah, begging. Yep.
Bro, you got to pay for the last order, bro. Like,
Come
on, that's crazy.
Yeah, you come up with $2,000 and I'll send you some goldfish. Until then, nice to know you. That's a regular thing.
The overlap with the fish business and the drug business just doesn't stop. Like,
but
no,
it's
man, I got you.
Though.
I'm gonna flip this. I'll flip this.
It's a hustle.
What Ross said personally, I don't like when someone comes to a swap with fish they didn't breed to sell. Now Ross is a breeder, of course, is gonna feel that way. But as at your store, you do sometimes go to swaps and bring fish you don't breed. Where do you think the line is for respecting the breeder vibe or not?
Well,
like, is that a thing?
I've said that to you before I came to your swap event. I don't want a single thing on my table that your breeders have on their table. If I know that you have a flipper at your table, I might bring a couple things that I know that flipper's bringing. but and I asked you and I made sure that I went through, and this is me doing my research. Prior to a swap, I know every single person that's going to be at that swap. I know what kind of products they bring. You didn't see a single guppy at my table. Why? Because Snyder Aquatics was there. What does she have? Guppies. You didn't see any plants on my table. Why? Because you had 3 vendors there that had plants on their tables.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any plecos. Why didn't I bring any plecos? Because Sabu was there, and
All she
Sabu
had
is
was
the
Odos.
pleco
That's all
and
she had. A whole
Corridora
table
guy.
full of Odos.
But I do. I make sure that I bring stuff that other people don't have, because I'm not trying to hurt an actual breeder. I'm not
Right.
trying to hurt anybody. I want to be fair at any swap.
Right.
But that being said, I don't want to burn people that are actually doing it right. If a swap was a true swap, and I will knock my store 100% when I say this, if a swap was a true swap, nobody should be there but breeders. And at the end of the day, if a local fish store wants to come in at that last half hour and buy what extra is on your table to bring to their store and advertise the fact that they've got homebred product in that store, I think that's a respectable thing to do. But it got
does sound
lost in the
nice.
sauce years ago when home breeders or people on Facebook started getting social media DM messages from this exporter in Indonesia or this exporter or this guy. And that's when it all got out of control. So it's hard to say that a swap is a fair battle when you've got actual breeders competing against the basement fake flippers versus the retail store. It's not a versus on a two-way street. It's a versus on a three-way street. It's flippers versus breeders versus retail stores.
Okay.
We're all
I
each
like
other's
what you did.
enemy.
I like what you did there. Okay.
Yeah, but it is.
She said versus. I gotta admit, I will add that if I wouldn't me personally, I don't think home breeders and retail stores are really all that much as I love home breeders as a retail store, to be honest with you.
That's
They
what I
bring
wanted
us-
to do in my store. So when you go into my store, above the entrance where the address is, it says the collective. The whole
Yeah.
idea behind the collective was that
Yeah.
I wanted breeders to be able to
Yeah.
bring their homebred product there,
Yeah.
not on consignment, but I wanted it to collectively be a store based on breeders and not based on wholesalers.
Yeah.
And that's the God's honest truth. That
Yeah.
was the original game plan for that store.
Where did that
So-
become a challenge for you, Funk?
What?
The whole you were talking about before.
What breeders and retail?
I'm just asking you to continue what you're saying. I thought you said something about.
Sorry.
Well, the biggest challenge for me with breeders is breeders who do well or want to do well or have the opportunity to do well. They get discouraged because of resellers and be like, why am I breeding? This guy just bought these fish 2 days ago and they made more money than me. I'm just going to do that. And they quit breeding because it's more financially, it's easier, get more money to flip. So you lose breeders because now all you have is flippers. So guess what? You're sending more money overseas and less money is staying in town because it's just easier. That's my biggest problem with it is that
you seen a lot of breeders, like they were breeders and then they just start.
Yeah, a lot. I'm be honest with you. I've said it a whole bunch of times. If my website ever got into like selling a whole lot of fish, I would really only breed like 3 different types of angels just to say, I know what I'm talking about. I got angel cred. And I'd be like, look, I'm breeding Bulgarians, I'm breeding blues, I'm breeding red dragons, red devils. But the majority of my fish are going to be marbles. I'm not going to spend all day breeding marbles. I'm going to import that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to buy that because I could flip that so much faster than breeding it. That's the sad, honest truth. That's the world.
I know.
And I would only breed a small amount of Bulgarians and blues and red devils.
Yeah, I know a few home breeders that started out trying to, breed and sell, but their demand got so high that they had to start buying wholesale to keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
And then they realize, well, why am I trying to breed something with all this work when I could just buy exactly the same fish and just resell it and just flip it. And that's the real issue.
Clip's still asking. He said, "Aren't all retail stores just fish flippers? Aren't they all?" That's like
Right,
back
but
to
we
the
have the
question
proper
earlier.
licensing to be able to do so.
Okay,
And the
I
only
see.
difference with retail to retail is just, again, who's on trend, who's caring for their fish properly, who's got good price points. You know, retailer is a brick and mortar store is either a fair brick and mortar store that is hobbyist owned and hobbyist run, or it's a retail store with somebody that's just flipping fish. There's a big difference between a hobbyist that sells fish as a retail store and a person that sells fish. The person that sells fish, you're just in it for the flip. It has nothing to do with the hobby or the love of the animals. It's whatever you can put in your pocket. But I'll tell you right now, there's not a single fish store out there that they're driving Benzes and loving their lives and only working 40 hours a week. So it's how you flip. It's again, it's about quality over quantity. It's about actually knowing what you're talking about when you're buying the fish. It's about them either being quarantined properly or buying them properly and they're actually healthy. I can go to cheaper wholesalers. I can go and buy it covered fish and flip them in a week at my store if I wanted to. And I could definitely be making more money doing it. But I hunt down the proper wholesalers with quality fish that aren't imported from junk companies, or those wholesalers are already working with their local breeders, packing up their locally bred stuff. Like I've got a breeder in Germany that meets up with 20 other breeders in Germany, and the box is all German bred. You can get, Israeli bred stuff that are all home breeders in Israel and stuff like that, and not these
Yeah.
mass produced farms of caca. Again, there's levels to being a retail store.
So wait,
Yeah.
well, what
But at
one
least
one?
we're legally flipping. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so because Clip said, so the only thing that separates a retail and a flipper is a license, which sounds like
No,
yes.
there's a lot more. Well,
There's a lot more to it, I
But
think.
that's like the main technical
That's simplifying things.
differentiation.
Yes.
No, I
Right.
guess
Okay.
that's oversimplifying it. I mean, there's help. There's like technical support. You got somebody to go to. I don't know what to do about my fish. They're dying. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more than just selling of a fish. There's inspiration. There's how what do I do next? How do I fix this? How do I fix that? So there's more than just buying at a brick and mortar. There's more than just cash.
Well,
I mean,
but
there's
there's
people that
also
come to LFSs all the time that don't buy a damn thing, but leave with valuable information. So it's more than just a financial exchange.
Well,
know,
not
That's
just that,
interesting.
but also like if you know a real breeder at a swap, the real breeder at the swap can tell you all about the fish that's in front of you and how they bred it and what they feed it and what's its best
yeah,
parameters and so on and so forth. If you go to a retail
experience.
store, right? If you go to now again, I can go to this swap next week and go to 12 different tables and ask them about a very specific fish, and they're not going to know squat about it because you didn't breed it, you bought it at a wholesaler,
Yeah.
and you're flipping it, and you don't need to
Yeah.
lie about it. Be transparent about it. Same with a retail store. If you go to a hobbyist run retail store,
Yeah.
chances are they can answer a lot more questions and know a lot more about the fish that are in there because they are well learned on the fish that they're bringing into the shop. I bring in new fish every week that I've never had before in my life. But before I click on the button and say I want 36 of those put into a bag to bring into my shop, I've read everything there is to read about it. So I know their parameters. I know what they could be housed with. I know the husbandry. I might not know the gestation period of it, but I can probably answer 29 out of the 30 questions you're going to
9 months.
ask walking into the store to buy
So
the fish.
it's kind
Go
of
ahead.
into the question. So someone asked if anyone has seen any killifish on wholesale lists. I'm going to combine that with another question I have, because you mentioned breeders in Germany. So they are breeding the fish and you're still buying them and bring them over here. So are there fish
Right.
that would make sense for people to breed and not do wholesale from overseas? Because to me, killifish might be one of those ones that I would think of. Like, do you see a lot of them on the list?
Any fish that you can breed in the United States, you should be breeding in the United States. And retail stores should be depending on local breeders to breed the fish that they're bringing in for a multitude of reasons. You're saving us on shipping costs. You're saving us on death sitting on a UPS truck overnight. You've got a better quality. The parameters are near our parameters. Hopefully you're feeding them better food. If I could could buy every single fish in my store from a breeder versus ordering them from anybody, including Funk works with a wholesaler, and that wholesaler does his own homebred products and buys from other local fish farms in his area in order to sell his fish
Yeah.
at the wholesale facility. Everybody wants to be able to
Yeah.
do that. For some reason, it never works out.
Yeah.
COVID was the prime opportunity. And when the tariffs hit, was the prime opportunity for every single aquarium
Yep.
club to contact
Yes.
local fish stores
Yes.
and say, listen, we've got 40 members in our
All right.
club. This is what they
Yep.
breed. This is what you can
Yes.
buy. Do you want it?
Don't
No
tell me,
offense to
Funk,
fish
don't tell me
clubs.
you're
Yep.
agreeing with the cop, Funk.
Bro,
Hell yeah.
listen,
There's
when
there
the
is no reason why fish
when the
clubs,
terrorists
yeah,
hit,
fish clubs should totally be contacting
Whoa,
when the
whoa,
local
one
fish
mic.
terrorists
stores.
hit,
You guys are stupid
when the
not to do that.
terrorists hit,
Go
Dan
ahead.
was like, when the terrorists hit, Dan was like, I wish somebody local would start breeding a pisto. I
Yep.
wish, and I said, and
Yep.
me and Mexicali had a
Yep.
video, had a live stream. Hey, you local breeders, y'all better get y'all tanks ready. Y'all better get your tanks
Yep.
going. Pistos.
Yep.
She's talking about Israel or where is it? Czech Republic. They breed greater pistos.
Czech
Yeah.
Republic. Yep. Yep.
Pistos, man. I'm telling you, like he was looking for local breeders to breed a pistos. Nobody wanted to do it.
Yep.
So we have to go
Every
overseas.
single fish club should be contacting stores once a month saying, these are our club members. This is
Yeah.
what they breed. Do you want to buy anything? And the fish stores, and I'm gonna literally poopy all over an online retailer right now when I say
Say their
this,
name. Say their
paying
name.
35%, paying 35% for your homebred product and shipping to an online retail store is ridiculous. There's
Say my
no
name. Say
reason
my
why
name.
retail stores shouldn't be giving you 50% on the wholesale, paying you cash up front, and they should be paying the shipping for you to get your product to them. That's
Okay, wait,
ridiculous.
So, okay.
Say my name.
What?
Say my name. When no
I was
one
about to
is
Dan
say your name,
around.
Funk.
Fish.
I'm about to say your name. Jesus Christ. I
What?
was gonna say it. Fine. I was gonna say it. But
I'll do
go
it. I
ahead, go
don't
all the
care.
way.
What's he gonna do? Sue
So we
me
got
for
Louise.
defamation? You can't
Okay,
sue
we
somebody for
got
defamation when it's true. What?
Louise, store owner. We got Funk. Okay,
I'm
Funk.
off duty. What?
I need Funk. Funk. Tell us. I would again. Remind us your background in the retail storefront, because I know Louise got the store, but just for people that don't know, like how much
He's worked
experience
with
you have with this
wholesalers.
stuff.
He's worked in retail.
Wait,
He
let him
knows how to
say
do
it. Let him
ordering.
say it. Let him say it.
All right,
Because
so
that's
here's
a question for you.
my resume. I've been working with on around about for going on 25 years since 2000. I've worked LFSs, managed big box stores like store managers, fish rooms manager. I was worked at wholesalers. I bred for profit, like decent at home bread for profit, like decent money. I've sold 2 other fish stores from a farms and stuff like that. And right now, we just opened up a very, very large LFS, a ridiculously large LFS. So I've been in like all facets of the business in one form or another.
Then this is my question for any. Well, I'm gonna say it to you, and then Mexicali, anyone you've talked to, because I know what Louise thinks. But what is
You do not.
with all my friends that breed things? The main issue is they have a hard time when they have a lot of fish getting rid of the fish. Like, and they usually end up getting ripped off at some store, giving them for nothing. So, like, if the stores do want stuff, how do you go about it, Funk? How do you read or go make your money?
You gotta watch. You gotta listen to Biggie Smalls. All right. It's like listen. I did a video on it.
10 crack
I did a video.
commandments
And
for fish.
yeah,
It's the 10
listen.
shrimp commandments. One.
Yeah. It's just like, so first of all, I'm gonna put it out 2 ways. There's 2 ways to go about it. I know Corey has did a series on one. That's one way to go about it. I liked it. I ain't gonna knock it. He did a series on how to sell fish, and all that. Me, I did it a little differently because of my background. I went with what I knew. I had all these angels that I was breeding. right? I went to the fish store and I said, here you go. Bang. Angels. This is what I'm about. I showed them my pictures. I said, this is all that. Look at. I'm the real deal. I'm not talking, because when you work at an LFS, first of all, you don't know how many people you get coming in telling you they're a breeder. Everybody's a breeder.
And then ask you to identify whether it's a male or a female in the picture.
So these LFSs, they hearing this all the time, right? They're like, yeah, whatever. You have to prove to them that you're serious and you're dependable. And when they call you, you got something. You know, I'm making an order. Should I buy from Nick, or is he gonna be out like always? No, I'm gonna buy from the wholesaler. So I gave him, here, boom, here's a bag of Angels. Then I went in a whole week later. Hey, I noticed all the Angels I gave you are gone. Here's my name and number. Again, I'm here for it. If you buy from me, I will not sell to Joe Blow down the street. But if you don't want to buy from me, I'm going to go hit up Joe Blow down the street. Now, once they go, okay, I will buy from you, they're going to try and give you store credit and be like, no, I know my worth.
Don't do it.
I know my worth.
Yep.
I want cash. They'll go, okay. If you sold out and you tell them, listen, you buy from me, if you have a dead fish, I will go ahead and reimburse it on the next order. If you buy from a wholesaler, to be honest with you, when you get 4 or 5 dead fish, you eat that. Sometimes
and don't do consignment. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, don't do consignment. Yeah, but a lot of times you eat dead fish. A lot of times you eat dead fish from a wholesaler. You know, but at least with me, you're gonna get that back. You don't have to pay shipping because I'm gonna bring it to you. If you have 1, 2, 3 empty tanks, I'll bring you 1, 2, 3 bags to fill up those 3 empty tanks. You don't have to fill, you don't have to do $500 order.
Scope out if they have space for the fish you got in the first
you don't
place.
have to do a $500 minimum order.
And establish a working relationship.
Yes,
too.
you got to
buy my food so that I know your fish are actually eating good food.
Yeah. So that's what you got to do. You kind of got to get them hooked on your product.
Yep.
You got to get them hooked on your product, and you have to let them know you're dependable. How many times have you called your Connect and they ain't got what you want, and you got to go to another Connect?
Yeah.
But as a seller, here's the other thing. You have to know your worth. You need, when you're selling wholesale, you need to know roughly what the wholesale going rate is, which is hard to do because not everybody has access. But it should be approximately 50% of what that store is selling them for. And again, have, like he said, have the pictures of your fish, the parents, show us what kind of food you're using, but you should be paid in cash. It's a transaction. It's a business deal. There is no consignment. There is no 30%. That's caca. Because again, I'm not spending, we pay for the actual shipping boxes. So the wholesaler gets all the fish sent in boxes. Okay. And they pay for those boxes to come in from another country. They recycle that very same box and charge me a box fee and a styro fee. So you're saving me on that fee. You're saving me on the
styro
shipping
fee.
But it's true. See, that's what I mean, though.
So it's like ordering from Aqua Imports, basically.
Well, there's places that make you pay for the styrofoam box. It's not like it's free. Like when I ship, sure, I'm not charging you for the shipping boxes or the packaging. But these are all these are all real fees that we pay. So as a seller, as an actual breeder, you deserve to be compensated for me not having to pay for bags, boxes, shipping fees. Again, I know you're using, it should be using better foods, locally bred. I don't have to acclimate them and do different things, transition them. If you're selling me brackish fish, they're already in brackish water. If I went through a wholesaler, chances are those were in fresh water for a day, 3 days, a week, whatever. Now I got to reacclimate them. So you should be paid in cash. There shouldn't be store credit. And here's what's wrong with store credit. So I give you $50 in store credit. Now you're going to use that $50 towards fish food that I'm charging you retail. How's that make sense? I robbed you twice. See where I'm going with that? That's why you deserve cash. But that's why you deserve cash.
You're getting paid wholesale to spend that wholesale money on a retail product.
So you're getting robbed. That's stupid. If anything, I'm trying to educate, breeders on what they should be doing. But also Go ahead.
Funk, you look like you've robbed someone like that before.
No,
Have you done that?
no. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Come on, you're smiling too much when you did that.
No, I don't mind if it's a serious breeder, they deserve cash. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I can kind of tell when somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm a breeder," and I'm like, "No, I'll give you store credit." Now if they insist that they're a serious breeder and they don't want store credit, I do take them more seriously. I take them more seriously.
Yeah,
when
see,
they say
I
that.
just say no until I know you're actually a decent person and a good human. I have no problem saying
what
no.
I'm saying is
But
when
yeah,
they
no,
say,
you'll throw them a couple
I
bucks.
go, okay,
kinda thing.
they kind of know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I know who
yeah.
I'm dealing with now.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's
But-
like I've had people come in. I'm a shrimp breeder. Okay, well, about 40 of these are culls. They're also covered in
Yeah.
duckweed. And I don't know if you want to call these a cherry shrimp, but your cherry shrimp don't look like my cherry shrimp, which
Yeah.
means you just gave me something for nothing unless you want to take these back home.
Oh
And
my
here's the
God.
other thing. If you're going to give me a bag of your homebred fish covered in duckweed, but I can get them from the wholesaler clean so that I can dump them out of a bag and put them in a tank and start doing me, then I'm not interested either. You have to come correct in your presentation.
Yeah.
Your presentation needs to be
Yeah.
as good as the presentation that I'm getting from my
You need to be
wholesaler.
professional. You need to be
Okay.
professional.
Yeah.
You need to be professional. I had a guy bring me. This guy said that he wanted to bring shrimp, and I told him bring some shrimp so I could see. He brought in 3 of those styrofoam things. Those like the thing that he got from somewhere. I don't know where he got them from, but it was the little freaking those little flatworms were in there. There was some strange bugs.
Oh,
Area.
Squidarea.
It was all
Nice.
kinds of, and I'm looking in there and I'm like, there was itty bitty little shrimplets. And I was like, bro, I can't put this in my tank. He was like, they're not gonna hurt him. I'm like, I can't put this in my tank. If I put this in my tank, first of all, how does that look? We're a professional store and we got that in our tanks. No. He was like, oh, you could just pick them out. I said, you can pick them out. I ain't picking them out. I'm on the clock. I got customers. And I was like, bro, I'm good.
I've been there.
I said, does all your tanks look like this? I said, how? I said, are they outdoors? He said, no, they're indoors. I said, how is all this out indoors?
Yeah, this is all mosquito larvae. Where did it come from?
Yeah. He said, well, he said, if I go home and I pick them out, are you going to be interested? I said, no.
No.
I'm not interested. I don't know what some of these things, these little bugs are. I can't even recognize that. I don't want that in my water.
Mexicali, can you believe these two I can't.
But here's the thing: on a promo for aquarium clubs. Well, on a promo for aquarium clubs, honestly, that's what aquarium clubs should be doing. They should have a list of all their members, what their members are breeding, and once a month they should be going to the stores that you guys, forgive me, I'm saying you guys because you're a president of a club, but all these board members that beg these wholesalers for gift cards and beg these LFSs for free stuff and do nothing for us in return, that is your way of doing something for the local fish store in return. We should be buying your stuff. We should have a working relationship. That's why I love doing what I did with your club and getting 5 of your members to all get together and sell me their homebred product, because that's how this one hand washes the other.
Can somebody put Louise's info? There's people talking about you.
No, I'm Wheezy the hater on here. I'm Wheezy the fish hater this time. I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody this time. I'm an uninvited guest. What are you talking about? Don't even talk about my store this time.
The thing that's nice
used to have a store.
I think KJ
the store is gone. The store is gone.
Exactly.
Well, the thing that's nice about selling stuff.
Hold on, wait, what?
What?
The store is gone.
I was joking.
Yes, I don't have a store. What are you talking about? I'm a nobody.
Yeah, just joking. No,
I was like, y'all said that with straight faces.
There's a flash sale on Monday. You didn't hear about it?
Oh,
no. Well, it was really nice.
Everything must go.
Everyone was very excited to take stuff, to have a store, buy their stuff. And I think the benefit is like, well, one, a lot of them are not have the expectation that they'll actually get paid cash for their fish. So that's exciting. And then even if you could get good money from that fish in the auction, you can't put that many fish in the auction. You can only do like 1 or 2 lots of the same fish before the price starts dropping. So like if you could actually sell the fish, some of these breeders that bring like OB peacocks and rusty cichlids and like yellow labs and all the other random stuff that people in clubs never want, like basically anything that's bigger, like but that's actually nice and sellable, because I know some stores around me still sell tons of OBs. It would be nice if they could take them to a store and actually get more than $1, and maybe it goes to someone who actually wants it, and it's not like a pity bid.
Bro, we sell so many African cichlids, OBs, peacock, mixed peacocks. I just sold a bunch of mixed peacocks today at $60 a piece.
Damn. Yeah, this
guy.
This
hybrids, the unknowns.
They're okay. So we get them.
Come on, bro.
No.
Calm down.
They look like a red empress, and as long as they look like a red empress, they're a red empress.
No, 75% of them, honestly, are true bloods, but we just put them all and call them mixed peacocks, because there's so many different varieties, and even some of the breeders that we get them from aren't really up to par with their stock.
I gotcha.
That we're not going to take the risk of saying somebody we guarantee. They look great, but OBs, yeah, $60 OBs all day long.
All day long. He brought a bunch to the club, and like, bro, he basically was giving them away. Like, no, like it was crazy. And then I literally drove to London Town Tropicals, which is my favorite store near me, and I saw the same fish in there, like, and I saw the price. I was like, damn, dude, like this guy must have been sitting there like shaking his head, because some fish that to us is worthless, stores actually sell tons of them for money.
So we had I don't know where the owner of the store I work at, I don't know what he was thinking, or I don't know if somebody tricked him. I don't know how it worked out, but I had 2 125 gallons worth of baby random peacocks. Oof. And over time, I've been pulling male peacocks. And I don't know if you know about peacocks, but you pull a male out because it looks good, and you go to work the next day, and there's another damn one. 2 125 gallons. My arms have been in 125 gallons like for weeks, just pulling out males, thinking, I got them all. No,
sleepers.
No, because tomorrow another one will pop up. So yeah, we've been selling a lot of peacocks. A lot. Okay. They look good though. I ain't gonna lie. They look good.
Do you want me to let you guys go so you can get back to the Three Amigos?
No.
Are you sure?
You could be the fourth musketeer.
I mean, now I'm the plethora of piñatas in the Three Amigos. You know, we'll
just
have a plethora of piñatas.
That was just a silly thumbnail.
No, we'll just limit your speaking time.
I don't think Nick knows Three Amigos like we do. Like we've got the age to talk about the Three Amigos.
Oh my god!
Nick's the young buck over here with the peach fuzz.
Here we go. Oh, so there is fuzz now. Oh, before it was like smooth as marble. Now there's peach fuzz. Come on.
Smooth as the baby's
well, you know,
bottom.
you've grown. Let's see, we've been live for what, an hour and 22 minutes? You've grown a little since then. You're good.
Oh
I don't
my
think
god!
you can. I don't think you can if you wanted to.
It's patchy. I bet you it's patchy.
Here it is. It is. But here it grows very fast, and it's red, which I don't like. So yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening.
All right, we'll stop picking on Nick. He already got the bum 15 discount from the other day. I gotta make a. Oh wow, he just squeaky chair.
No. What's a bum 15? Come on.
Bum 15 is his special discount code at the shop.
Bum 15.
These are the jokes. Just we're gonna lay off Nick. Oh,
did you get the WD-40 for the chair? You're not squeaking as much.
I'm just.
You could probably have Fathom make some 3D printed parts for you. Fathom might be able to hook you up without the squeak.
Oh come on, man! Come on. That's true though.
I'm just saying.
You guys are withholding secrets. You never answered. What killifish are on the wholesale list? Are you just not ordering? Are they there?
Well, no. There's definitely. Well, there's not anything seriously special going around right now. Like clown killifish are on the list. The chocolate australs are always there. The orange australs are always there. The Gardner eyes are always there. The albino Gardner eyes don't come around too often. The gold Gardner eyes don't come around too often. The pearls for sure. The constants, those go in like phases in, phases out. The ones you brought to me, those are not readily available on any lists. Let's
Yeah.
see what else. Least killifish are seasonal because they're pulled from Florida, but it has to be certain, weather conditions, just like
Okay.
the pygmy sunfish and things like that. The pygmy killifish aren't readily available, even though again they're pulled from Florida certain times of the season.
Right.
Northobranchius, or however you pronounce that, those goes in phases. Like right now, the rivulis are floating around. What are the other common ones in the Notho species? The egger's eyes, those guys are popping up again.
Right.
Um, what are you doing over
Okay.
there?
I don't know,
You double
bro.
fisted with the
Yo,
lollipop?
he's
See, I felt
going.
bad because I'm sitting over here
Yo.
vaping. You got 2 lollies.
Yo. Oh, he
Double
make it.
fisted with the lollies. That's a lot of balls in your mouth, sir.
I'm just not even. I can't even touch that.
You shouldn't.
Because I
You
think that
shouldn't. Folks gonna have
killies are good.
comebacks.
I think killies are a good one for hobbies to breed because I
They
think
are. No, I
they're very
agree.
expensive
But
to bring in.
well, here's the thing. Hobbyists should definitely breed them, but you're only going to be able to sell them to retail stores that have knowledge of killifish. And I don't mean that with disrespect to retail stores, but again, that those are items that you sell to places like, and again, I get it, I'm talking about me, but you sell them to places like me, or what is it called? Waterscapes Fish Gallery, the one in Michigan.
Oh yeah,
You have
yeah,
to go,
watercolors.
right, or you would sell it to Cuboid in Bucks County. Like if you tried to sell those at the 4 shops closest to me, they're not even going to know the scientific name of 3/4 of the killifish that you're going to want. Golden Wonders, sure, Petco got Golden Wonders, but that's the
Golden
difference. And again,
Wonders.
I'm not. Well,
That sounds
I'm not trying
nasty.
to knock the stores, but that's the difference between a fish
Okay.
store and a hobbyist run fish store. A
Okay.
hobbyist run fish store, if you gave them a list of the things that your club members breed and things that you breed, if you gave that to a hobbyist store, they're going to be goo goo gaga like I am. If you go into a regular fish store, I can guarantee you I could send you to 3 fish stores with some of the fish that your club members breed, and they'd be like, what's that? And that's
Right.
because they're out of tune with not reality, but just out of tune with what's on
Okay.
trend.
So what
So
about
they're
I gotta stand up for people in the chat that unfortunately like Gadaids. Are there any hope for them? Some
No.
wild type live bearers?
no, fish nerds. Fish nerds, yes. I've brought in every limia and well, I call them goodeids, but
I'm
I've
with
brought
fuck.
in every limia and what?
I said I'm with fuck. I've seen them sit in the stores near. Like, is that?
Yeah.
Did you have to have a base? Because I've seen them sit in the
Yeah.
store near me for a long
Yeah,
time.
it's the
There's
fish
definitely,
nerds love that
yeah.
stuff. Same with wild type bettas, but you have to have a specific niche. Like I have a lot of exotic fish, but I have a lot of exotic fish because I know the 12 or 15 people that are going to buy them, and then I can wait 3 months and buy them again for the next set of fish nerds like myself that I know will buy them. But if I bought certain fish every week, they would sit in a tank and I would just collect fish. Because again, you have to know your customer base to know what they're looking for. Because at the end of the day, I'm a flipper too. I'm a retail store that flips fish. Each one of my fish tanks is an apartment building, and if nobody's paying rent in the apartment building, then I'm not paying my rent. So every fish tank is real estate, and that's just the business part of me, not the hobbyist. The hobbyist in me says I can have that 55-gallon over there, and it can have 12 fish that I never sell, but as a hobbyist, I got to see them. I'm feeding them. I'm watching them grow out. If they breed, kudos to me. So I don't focus so much on every tank has to be flipped in 30 days. That's ridiculous. But there are lots of stores out there that you bet your ass they want that tank flipped in 30 days. Otherwise, they're not making their rent. I was fortunate enough in my location that I've got cheap rent, no water bill, and lousy freaking parking. It's just part of the deal. bill. But if I was paying 3 times the rent and I was paying my water bill and I was paying other things, maybe more of those tanks would have to be bread and butter fish versus exotics because the rent's got to be paid. So a breeder needs to establish a relationship with the store, because what does the store sell a lot of that they can breed a lot of? But you as a breeder also want to be able to breed something that I'm not going to pay you 95 cents for. So you as a breeder want to be strategic, like epistogrammas. You're going to get a much better price selling me pairs of epistogrammas than you are going to get for selling me mutt guppies. I mean, let's just be honest. But that's where you have to develop that relationship with the retail store. Why is he laughing over there in the corner like a little kid waiting to say something? Go.
But
Because
you know what,
he's lathering himself up with baby oil.
yeah.
Is he?
We
We
haven't let
What are you
we
doing?
have not let Funk talk enough. Let's see what he's got to say.
Genuinely
If he's rubbing
scared
with baby
now.
oil, he's getting ready to rub
The reason
down
I
on
am
Nick's
scared-
face. He's
The reason I'm
moisturizing.
scared because I'm gonna go see Funk in a couple of weeks, and that's making me nervous. He's got baby
I
oil.
told you
he's
he
got a
was
casting
trouble.
couch.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I
I
want to go
told you
in
he
there
was
now.
trouble.
Hey,
Funk is trouble. I told you he's
Hey,
trouble.
no, look, hey, I never met the guy Clip before, so I'm introduce myself
Clip is-
proper.
Clip is a real dude, man. He's
I really want to
like
go
him.
on this vacation. I've still got my guys through April. I'm about to take 3 days in Florida, man. It's
Come
getting
on.
tempting now. We
Come
all
on.
getting arrested. My insurance company for the bail bond business is in Tampa. I can get us all out. We're good.
Yeah, there it is.
bro.
I know.
And shout out to Roche Surety. I can get us out. I can get us
Funk
out.
Diddy. Over the stock Oscars, Funk Diddy. You should have been on my live stream the other night. Somebody hashtagged, what was it? PP penmanship.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
okay. I don't got anything to add to that. Yo, is this the freak off? I thought this was the fish stream. The flip off?
Freak
I don't know what's
They
going
call
on.
freak nicks. They call freak nicks.
Okay, now we're just getting old. Now we're getting old up in here. Come on.
Well, I mean, you got 40s versus 20s going on here. You're outnumbered, man.
Mexicali. I was about to say 40s. Look at this guy's beard.
I was trying to be nice, shush. I'm pushing 52. I get it. I know. I'm pushing
Okay.
50. I get it. 49 is 7 months away. I know. I'm scared. Go ahead.
Well,
So what else
I
do you
mean,
want to know, young buck?
well,
How else do you want to know how fish business works?
well, I feel like Jorge, you've said the least in a little bit. What do
He
you
always
think?
does that. He
What
does
do you
that on
think?
purpose. He
I'm
lets
just
everybody
listening.
incriminate
No,
themselves.
wait. LFSs versus flippers versus breeders. Where is this conversation taking you on this stuff? Like, does your stance move at all, or what do you feel?
I can see the point from an LFS where they're having to compete with somebody that's just flipping fish, and me having a relationship with an LFS when I was trying to breed stuff, it is true. It is a partnership. And the way it's one of those things where, yeah, you might be breeding some certain stuff, but if you want to continue to doing business on a regular basis, the best thing you can do is ask them, what's your best selling type of fish, and try to breed that. And I was doing that for a while and doing it pretty good. It's just after a while, I wasn't not willing to drive the 3 hours to get there. It's just too far for me. It wasn't feasible. And just my work schedule, and you start getting into these other situations where if you're really doing the breeding full time, it really does become like a second job. And my wife was getting upset because our time had kind of gone away, and it's kind of like, all right, I'm not going to ruin my relationship for something that's only putting a few extra dollars in my pocket. That plan was supposed to be anyways for when I retired. I was just getting ahead of it. I just happened to fall into a situation that allowed me to do it a little bit sooner. And that's why I downsized again. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to what my original plan was. I'm going to have tanks that I'm going to enjoy. If stuff breeds in there, it breeds, but it's not the intended purpose. And that's where I'm at now. I've had to regress from that. And now I've got a balance. It's funny because life is really like an aquarium. You got to have that balance. You can't be all on one thing because then it affects everything else. And And right now, my wife is pretty happy with what my hobby side of it is. Um, when I started doing these interviews, I was doing one like almost every week. I was really heavy into that she was kind of like, "Oh, you're gonna go do another one now," and now it's to the point where she says, "When are you doing your next one?" So, you find
Hmm.
that balance with everything else, and
What?
it works out.
Nice.
So
So wait, can LFS flippers and breeders coexist at a swap and everyone be friends? Like, what does that look like to you after this?
I don't
LFS
look.
flippers and breeders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Flipper,
think flippers have a. If you want to, I
flippers.
mean,
if they have a license.
they can do it. I guess at an event
They're
like
always gonna be the
Coachella, or they can
redhead
do it at
bastard
a.
children. They're always gonna be the
You know,
redhead stepchildren. Always, always, always. They're gonna be looked
Yeah,
upon
breeders
as the
breeders
ones
get
trying to get
salty.
over.
Yeah,
They're
breeders
always
definitely get salty on flippers.
and LFSs are always gonna look at flippers like, yo, like you're going at it, you're going at it you're shortcutting us.
Yep. Yep.
They're always gonna be the outsiders.
Yep.
Always.
Oh, and one
It's
thing
just
I do want to
nature.
say.
It's just
Oh,
nature of
sorry.
their business. No, go ahead.
One thing I just want to say that Jorge really stood on his principles. You also have to breed what you love. You should never just walk into a store and be like, "Well, what makes you the most money so that I can breed it for you and blah 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 so I can make money." You have to breed what you actually like, because if you breed what you actually like, then you're going to do more homework on that fish, you're going to do more research on that fish, you're going to want it to be the best quality, you're going to cull it properly. I don't mean any disrespect when I say this about breeders. I was a breeder as well before having the store. There's people that breed fish, and then there's fish that breed, and you put them in a bag and try to sell them. So you right. Like fish breed, we're fish voyeurs. We watch fish f
well,
all day, okay?
there's levels
I
to
But when
breeding
I
you're
too.
filmed it.
There's levels to breeding too. There's different types
right,
of breeders. You have
right,
your the guys that are trying to be professional. They've selected a few select species that they're very proud of breeding,
right,
and that's what they want to be known for. And then you have the one that, like you said, it's just he has fish and they bred, and that's what he's just
right.
flipping.
Yeah. Well,
But
even
yeah,
on Facebook, we have rehoming sites, okay? And I'm sure everyone has been on a rehoming site. When people say, "Hi, I'm so and so, and I want to rehome these three fish," when the same five idiots jump on there going, PM sent, they're flippers. Those are not people that are going
Mm,
to take care of your
yeah.
fish that you've had
I,
for a couple years and care about. They are flippers.
That they
And
do
you know
that?
why
I don't
I
do
know they're
Facebook. Is
flippers?
that a
Because
thing?
they call the shop a couple days later going, "Yo, I got this fish."
so
Yeah, I know. You got a one-eyed puffer and you've been trying to sell it on Lehigh Valley Aquarium
so
Society
it's
for
a
3 weeks.
big
I
thing.
don't want your one-eyed puffer.
It's a huge
Really?
thing. So I think a better conversation than swaps is honestly auctions, because the most flipping happens at auctions, hands down. People go to auction, they drive to the store, they take the fish there, or they go and sell it, whatever thing. But
Yeah, I've
like
never been to an auction, so I
for
can't speak
instance,
on that.
Aquarium Club of Maryland, they will go into every rehoming Facebook group, and if there's a free tank on Marketplace or something, and they'll get that stuff and they'll put it in the club auction. And like, there's
Wow.
people that get that stuff that aren't a part of the club. Like, people go and get a free tank on Marketplace to put in the club auction. I use the club as an example because I've seen them do it many times. As a matter of fact, I remember someone messaging me
That's
like,
sad.
"Yo, you know what just happened to me? I was driving to go pick up this tank, and then when I went there, like, the lady's like, 'Oh, I'm sorry, I actually gave it to this other person,' and it was someone else from the club." And then he saw that in the auction the next weekend.
No.
Wow.
But like, they're not the
I
only
didn't know
ones.
that
Like,
that would happen.
That's just shady.
individuals do that. Okay, like,
That's
and
shady.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because odds are, if you get a free fish tank and put it in a club auction, it's probably going for like $5. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're
Not the
making a
point,
killing.
though. Like,
I mean, but
and
like,
I
I
think
don't
that's
have a
why I
problem
get
with it,
mad at the
really. But
people with the rehoming, because it's like, yo, a rehoming is a rehoming. They actually want you to take care of the fish. Like the guy that I'll never forget the day that this guy literally for a week straight
Okay.
on the Facebook sites and on Band, he tried to get rid of this one-eyed puffer. And then I get this phone call at the shop, and I got caller ID, of course, and I see that it's this person. And he's like, "Yo, I got this really rare exotic puffer. I'm on my way." And he didn't like put his seatbelt in. You could hear the ding ding in the background. And I'm like, "Yo, you ain't coming here to the shop." He's like, "Nah, yo, I got this like really cool puffer." I was like, "It's got one eye. I don't want it." yo, how do you know that? I'm like, because you've been on social media trying to flip this thing. I'm like, I don't want it. He went to the store 15 minutes north of me, like maybe 2, 3 hours after I had that phone call. Dude's calling me from his shop going, yo, I just got screwed over on this one-eyed puffer. Like, now, no offense to that store owner, but that's a guy that doesn't do social media, doesn't keep up with trends, doesn't look at what's going on. You need to know your audience.
So you'll
And I'm
see
not
the
gonna,
rehoming post, and then you'll see people bring in like the
yeah,
stuff from rehoming.
yeah,
Let me answer this question
so
real quick,
sad.
and then I'm gonna open up a can of worm that's got nothing to do with this topic. You kind of alluded to it, but I gotta open it. It's already been touched on. It says, "Isn't a breeder and an LFS develop a symbiotic relationship based on the reputation? Because reputation is the easy part. Maintaining the reputation is the hard part." Yeah, that is true. Because if you burn the person you're working with, you're not going to want to deal with you anymore. So
Yep.
yeah, I agree with that. Now, what's your opinion when we're talking about rehomings, these so-called fish rescues? Those seem to be gaining a little bit of popularity in my area, and a lot of these guys that I see that are doing this,
Wait,
You
what,
flip it.
I
what
don't
is a
know
fish?
how they can
Describe
get
the
away
fish
with calling it a
rescue.
rescue, and then they're
Yeah,
trying
you
to flip
flipping.
those fish.
Yep,
Oh.
you flipping. You flipping. A
Yeah, they're
rescue
flipping.
is where they literally go into that pond. Well, all
Yeah.
right. There's a guy recently that was talking on his YouTube and did a whole, and Nick knows who I'm talking about. He did a whole YouTube video talking about how he went and he rescued this betta, and oh, it's his favorite betta, and it had a name and everything. Dude goes into his place, buys the betta from him. Oh, he's going to such a good home. Then the dude that got the betta shows him in his new home in a tank with a goldfish. What? Right, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
he
okay,
went to such a good home. He's gonna be so cared for with
my
not just any goldfish. We're not talking about an Aranda or a Ranchu. This was a 25-cent feeder fish living with this rescued betta. Yep. Now
my
I'm
question
done.
is, Jorge, is what you're talking about someone saying like, oh, I rescued this thing from Petco or something, or it's like they're
No, no,
trying
no,
to say
no,
they're
no.
like a rescue, like an
No, that
establishment?
They're a
they're a
rescue
rescue and they're
operation.
taking fish.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
So
like
They're
where do they
picking up
sell the
all
fish?
the unwanted fish.
Where do they sell the
so
fish? Like
at their
okay.
Wherever
location.
they can sell 'em.
Online
At-
or in their basement. Yeah.
So
Oh.
so there's some rescues out here in Florida, and they go and they rescue fish and they have them, and normally they're not kept in the greatest of. And you go there to look at their rescue, and they have all the licensing and get whatever grants or, and then you could buy the fish. And in my head, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, they must be just trying to the money that they selling the fish for has to be at the most minimum amount because they're just trying to raise funds for like food to no, it's the same amount as a goddamn on store. Oh,
Yep.
that fish
Okay.
is worth that much. I'm like, but
Yeah.
hold up, wait.
That's the adoption. That's the adoption fee, bro.
But then no,
Well,
an
then I
adoption fee
adopted fish
shouldn't be
from
the
my you.
retail
Hey, come to
fee.
my
Yeah.
store and adopt fish for
Yep.
Well,
retail
here's where
prices.
I have an issue with some of these rescues, that then they try to put it on you that they can't get these fish rehomed, and
Yeah.
by then the fish
Yeah. Guilt
are
trip.
suffering because you're
Yep.
not willing to come
Guilt trip,
and
yeah.
rescue the fish from him. And it's
Mhm.
like, bro,
Well,
nobody asked you
What
to
what
go
if
pick
what
this
if
fish
what if
up.
they're getting fish from an actual, like, I don't know, pound or something? What if the fish are coming from an actual like
Pound?
overflow?
I'm
Yeah, of like a
right
of like
now we got
animal
cats and dogs. I'm
like
gonna take a break real quick. I'll be
animal
back.
control. You got it. Like what if it's
I'll be
coming from an
back, kids.
actual animal control place and they're getting the fish from there? Like, isn't that a rescue?
They're
Like they
not.
don't have
They're not,
space.
because they're making videos of the so-called rescue. And
No,
They're
but I'm
people's
saying
houses.
I'm saying that because I've seen that. I've seen that. Like where they're getting it from like Baltimore County Animal Control and then putting in the auction as a rescue.
well,
Like, is
that's
that
different.
different?
But they're not doing that full time. I'm talking about people that are trying to do this as a side hustle or as a main
Okay.
source of income,
Okay.
where that's their whole thing, is that they're taking these fish that don't have a home anymore, and they're trying to replace them supposedly. But it's true what Funk was saying. Usually, you would think if somebody's trying to rehome them, they're going to look for somebody that has the adequate tank and just kind of give it to them, because that's what the idea is. But then they want to charge you for an adoption fee. I've seen that. I've seen a rehoming fee.
You don't mind as much like them getting it and flipping it into an auction or whatever, because that's probably not going for a high.
It's probably a one-time deal.
Yeah. But what yours is like they're trying to sell it as a retail price, but they got it from Facebook.
It's a whole scam. It's a whole operation.
Yeah,
and they're in there and they're using it to create content, so they're getting money off of YouTube, and then they're taking those fish up, and then they'll do these things where it's like, hey, I'm running out of space. You guys really need to help us, and you should really be picking these fish up instead of going to a local fish store. And it's like, dude, nobody asked you to do that. So don't be coming on here and trying to put this on the people and make it their responsibility.
So Flip is asking, so what do we consider is a legit rescue? In my opinion, a legit rescue is not necessarily like it has to be a certain size or it has to be a certain thing. But if you're taking in fish that are in distress and caring for the fish, and one, keeping it forever or rehoming it to a proper home, that's a proper fish rescue in my opinion. But what happens in most cases is, hey, I don't want this fish no more. Somebody take it. That person takes it and just resells it.
They think they're going to be able to flip the fish, and that's really what it is. It's not a rescue; it's a flip operation, but they call it a rescue because they're trying to play on people's feelings, I guess.
Because I think of rescue, I think of like, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish.
I was just gonna say that like people like Jesse, like I know people have giant fish that they can't find a place to. So he puts them in like his ponds and stuff. That's what I think of when I think of a fish rescue. And he's not selling those or anything. I'm sure he probably sells some of them, but like he has a big pond that he could put big fish in. You know what I mean? So
what I'm talking about is that their sole purpose is to pick up free fish and then try to resell them.
Yeah, that's kind of that's name of the game.
You just ruined my weekend plans.
Under the auspice of it's a rescue. It's a rescue operation.
Like your Mother Teresa or something like that.
Yeah, no, you're trying to flip fish that you got for free. That's what you're trying to do. You know, call it what it is. Don't use the term rescue because you're trying to turn a profit on it. That's a bunch of bullshit.
The word rescue in general is kind of a rescue bait is from a LFS.
Yeah, that's
you bought that.
You just made money for that store. You didn't rescue shit.
You just perpetuated the issue.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You just wheeling the cog.
See what happens when you pick topics? They don't go your way.
What do you mean? We got off the topic, and you introduced the chaos.
That's what you said.
You introduced the chaos agent. Okay, I couldn't. If I had known that Louise could join, I would have picked the topic. Would it be safe?
You should put hater of flippers.
I don't got a problem. Listen, as a buyer, my problem with flippers is when I go to a swap and 3 tables have the same 20 fish all in Sterilite tubs, and they're all either at or above retail price. Because for me, I don't see the cheaper prices at swaps. The green lasers are still $30 or whatever. And like that was my thing at the Clash, is like there was a couple tables that had unique stuff, but there's a lot of tables where it's like they had those 30 fish, the same 30 fish at each one. And I don't got a problem with it, but as far as what I complain about, I just want there to be a variety of cool fish. So I do think if everyone has the same source, then that's worse for me because I don't get to see all the cool different things that maybe a breeder would bring. You know,
that was the same thing at Aquashella. I didn't see a savings. Now I guess if you go there Sunday, they giving away stuff damn near free. Yeah, but I have that same problem with auctions. I have seen fish go for retail or more than retail at auctions too.
Auctions are funny.
The right fish.
Because sometimes you see fish that blows your mind how much money they go for, and you're kind of like, wait, you can go buy a lot more fish at the local LFS store than what you're paying here. I don't know. It's weird. Auctions are so weird. You never know what triggers people.
Yeah.
I think what it is, sometimes people just get caught up in the competition side of the auction and not so much on what they're buying. And usually
100%.
those are not your regular like breeders or stuff like that are going in there to find something to breed. They're just kind of like the one-offs, and they get caught up in that whole frenzy of bidding, and they don't want to get beat. And before you know it, they've paid 2 or 3 times what they would have bought it at the local LFS. And then you find fish that you know are very expensive, and you get them for $1.
Yep.
That's happened to me too.
The
Nick,
thing
I
is,
agree
like,
with you, Nick.
well, Mick said, proper rescue is the one who truly cares for the fish and do the right thing. If a fish find a great owner later, so be it. Award the rescuer if you think they did a good job. Oh, so wholesome. Wow. No, I think with the auctions, the higher prices for unexpected things, it's like either like ego, like you said, or 2, there's a lot of retired people with like disposable income. So like they can just be like, nah, I want this fish right now and I'm here. Or there's people like me, which every now and then, I don't think I generally pay too much for fish because I am cheap. But if I'm bringing fish that I bred, I have a credit with the auction. So I have a little bit of extra. I'm not gonna hurt as much because I'm not taking it out directly out of my pocket. I'm taking out the money I already made at the auction from the fish I'm selling there. So I have a bit more flexibility on what I can bid. You know, sometimes at an auction, I'm not bidding much. And then one of my lots go up and it's like shrimp. I'm like, oh shit, I actually got $20 for that shrimp. Like I may buy that. I may actually bid up to $10 that dry goods item that no one would normally fight over. You know, why not? Like, I know I have that. So bread by Steve's glass boxes equals money.
I know a lot of online companies that sell fish online love auctions. They buy stuff at auctions all the time. All the time. All the time.
Do you have like a favorite online or in-person store, either of you? And like what makes that store your favorite?
Oh man.
I have a couple.
Yeah. What stands out about them that's like, yeah, that's why I like that store?
The selection of the fish is not your bread and butter fish. And for me, it's plants. They have really good, nice plants. So, because I'm always looking for plants for my aquariums. So the aesthetics of the store. I'm a sucker for a nice looking boutique styles type of store. I don't have a problem with that. That's kind of what. And I those are the stores that I regularly go to, anyways. And I talk about them.
So I've ordered very few times online. I've ordered. I can tell you. Well, Imperial don't count because I pick up from Imperial. Like I order that you only can order online and then go over there and pick it up, and that's like 15 minutes away. But I've ordered guppies from Coastal Gems, which my experience with those guppies was great. But I've learned that was only because I ordered guppies. Apparently, other people have said if I would have ordered anything else other than guppies, I would have been upset.
Okay.
And I also ordered, which I really enjoyed, now I don't know if it was because I was a YouTuber and I was going to make a video about it. I want to say no, that's not the case. Was from who the hell are them people? Mexicali? Then people I got the yellow
Coachella, the Coachella Valley aquatics.
Yeah, I ordered yellow fire mouse from them, and while it did take a long time to get to me, that was because I was in contact with them and they were telling me, hey, I'm not happy with this batch, so we're gonna wait a little while longer till the second tank grows up a little bigger. So like I said, I want to say they do that to everybody. I don't want to think that, oh, they just did that for me because I was going to do a video. But I want to say they'll do that for anybody. But I was very happy with that. And when I did have a problem, it was too easy for them to rectify it. But again, I was in a different scenario. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say I'm hoping they do that for everybody. So I had a good experience. But I'm also spoiled out here with Dan from
Florida.
Consolidated. Yeah, Florida or Dan. Dan. To be honest with you, Dan in general, I'm just spoiled, so I don't really buy online because of it. So I'm not a good person to ask that.
Okay.
Not to interrupt, guys. I'm going to let you guys go because I've actually got to work on 2 orders and figure out flights because apparently you've got the chill factor down in Florida, but there was 12 inches of snow in the Carolinas. So the Atlanta, the Atlanta airport is all messed up and then Kentucky's all messed up as
Yep.
well. So I got some things I got to figure out. I do want to thank you for letting me jump in here and throw my haterade. And I don't mean that. No, I know that I sound hateful and I'm not trying to hate on other stores or the basement operations or anything like that. It's just a matter of proper licensing. It's a matter of being transparent. I do feel bad for the breeders more than I would feel bad for a retail store because the breeders are the ones truly doing it for the love of the sport. And I mean that. And I mean that with all sincerity. And that's why I buy from breeders. That's why I'm the diehard hobbyist that I am. I know I get salty about certain things, but I only get salty about it because I believe it should be fair across the board for everybody. So I see how like breeders are negatively impacted at swaps. I see how a retail store could definitely shit on everybody on the basement operations versus breeders. I get all that. And that's why I really do try to do it right when I go to swaps because I don't think it's fair to rob from breeders. And same thing, and I will say this till the day I die. If you are a breeder that sells to a store, get paid properly, get paid up front. That should be able to pay for your water bill. That should be able to pay for your electric bill. That should be able to pay for your food. That should be able to pay, like in Jorge's situation, to take his wife out and say, look, see, the hobby did something good. And we're going to go to Red Lobster tonight because I made
Let's
money.
go.
And then she's happier because and then she's happier because of his fish hobby. But on that note, I do want to thank you guys for letting me come on. Have a good time. Enjoy the Three Amigos. Piñatas for everyone. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank
All
you,
right.
thank you, thank you.
Bitter.
All right. Bye,
You're
guys.
bitter.
Have a great night. The
Bitter.
hater is leaving. The hater is leaving the
Can the real
room. Bye
can the real
bye.
criminals rise up right now? Yo, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, get out of here. Yo, guys, don't get a license. Don't. We're just gonna avoid Louise at all the events. It'll be fine.
Hey, real fast. So Clip just put in his discount code for H2O plants. 15% off.
Ooh, very
His
fancy.
discount code. I didn't know
That's a
he
good
had it
site.
like that. I didn't know
Bro,
he had it like that.
See, the people over at TikTok, man, they get all sorts of discount codes and products sent to them, and you got to show some respect, man. They do their thing.
Oh, the reason why I said that is because, like,
Oh, Jorge, I think you're muted, by the way.
I send people to other places every once in a while because at our LFS, we get just general plants, but a lot of times people ask for very specific stuff. And I'm honest with them. I was like, we're not going to get specific stuff because one, people that come to general LFSs, they just want, oh, how much is it? You know what I mean? So like some of this stuff that is more expensive and harder to keep, they won't buy it. So we just don't buy it. We doesn't buy it for the store because it'll just sit there. So
Gotcha.
I've sent people to like Dustin's, but I mean, and the only reason why I send them to Dustin's is because I know his website has packs and is very informative on certain stuff. But I'm looking at this one. I'm like, I might send people here. I don't know. Maybe they want to give me a discount code. I'll send people your way. I'm not going to buy it, but they might.
My audio back up?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
We shouldn't have said nothing. We should just let them keep talking.
Bro, come on, man. Next time I will.
All right. You guys feel like there's anything else we need to talk about the topic, getting back on the topic?
No, I will circle around to the beginning. I think stores like should do like they don't do it here in Florida. I think there's a lot of hate from old timers, but they really should open up and be more inviting to swaps. But like someone put out there about the flippers, I could see the problem. I could see the clash. But I would, if it was me, like where we at, it's big parking lot. I would encourage it if I had to say so, but I don't.
Yeah,
that's me.
I'm as a buyer, I think competition is great. I'd love if all three of them were there and communicate with each other. Louise really did go out of her way to make sure she brought nothing anyone else had for the most part to the swap. I think stuff like that, I'm not going to expect everyone to do that, but there's ways to come where everyone wins at these events. And I think even just with clubs in general, we should all try and work together as much as possible. To me, this is a collaborative hobby anyway. Yeah. So we can find a way to make the business side of a hobby event collaborative too.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I don't own a LFS, but I know I've talked to a couple of the owners, and I was always curious as to why they would host an event at their facility. But again, at the end of the day, it just boils down to bringing awareness, because sometimes the swaps will bring in people from outside the hobby too, that are just kind of curious to see what's going on, and they'll stop by, and then they'll find out that not only are they having an event on the parking lot, but there's actually a physical store there in case they decide to purchase something in the future and stuff like that.
Well, so let me be a little bit brutally honest on a business aspect of it. It ain't gonna hurt to show a little love to that community who is, for the most part, shows appreciation and love to people who show appreciation and love. So what I'm saying is like, you show love and appreciation to the hobbyists, the fish breeders, the people who come to the events. Chances are they're gonna come to your LFS to buy and spend money because they want to support people who support them. Business aspect of business. It wouldn't hurt. They do it once or twice a year. It ain't gonna hurt your business. If it does hurt your business, you got way more problems than a damn fish swap. You know what I'm saying?
Amen to that.
Yeah.
They Sweet Polly said we crushed it tonight. Come on,
it was
fellas.
good. It was fun. It was entertainment. I think we had a lot of good information. I really like the fact that we were able to get Louise up here and give her point of view as a LFS, and so I thought it was interesting. It went by quick. We've been on for 2 hours, and it didn't seem like that long.
Light work. Come on, light work. Let's go.
Yep.
It's about time you guys put some work into these streams. Come on, break that 2-hour mark.
Unlike you, I actually have to get up to a physical building to go work in the morning. I don't get in my pajamas to get on the computer.
Oh, you got to go control the river. Oh my God.
I gotta go slather up my body.
Jesus. Next time, my only complaint, next time we got to get an unlicensed fish flipper up here. Like, you know what I mean?
Is that what you are?
No. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just because you wrote with crayon on a piece of paper that says permit doesn't mean it's legal.
Yeah.
Bro, I've got a permit, okay? I've got a permit. I don't know why I'm on a fish stream. Of course I have a permit. What, you think I would just get on a fish stream without a permit? That would be ridiculous. You got to carry your papers on you all the time now. Okay? Yo, I got it ready. Don't worry about it.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I want to thank everybody.
Ross Baltimore said, "Grow it out, Nick."
Grow it out. Yeah, he can't grow it out. It'll take him 10 years before you can even start seeing stubble.
We'll never know.
Yeah, we look at that virgin skin.
Like the baby's
never
butt.
seen a razor.
All right.
All right.
So joke on Nick all night, or we can.
I know. Yeah. Again, I want to thank everybody that was here with us tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys coming out, and I want to thank Louise for popping up in here and giving us her 2 cents. And we'll see you guys again. I know we don't do these on a regular basis, but it's just because we really do try to.
It's better that way.
Yeah, we try to come up with when we actually have something to talk about. Yeah, instead of just
making up crap.
So I don't know when the next time will be. Just keep your ear to the ground and you'll find out about it. I do try to post the the lives at least 2 days out, preferably 3 days out, so that you guys can be aware of that. Any parting thoughts from any of you guys before we get out of here?
Wonderful stream, gentlemen.
All right, you guys have a good night, and enjoy the beginning of the week.